One of the inevitable consequences of our role as project managers is that we have a load of stuff to do. And it can be overwhelming at times. It's important to understand what we mean by overwhelm, because overwhelm is different from overload. And we can get overloaded, but the difference for me is that overload is primarily an objective state of affairs where we have too much work to do with the time and resources available to us. Whereas overwhelm is a subjective condition. It's where we feel like we can't cope with the amount of work we have to do. And you know full well that there are times where you are objectively overloaded, but you just roll up your sleeves and get on with it. There are other times when you have plenty of time, plenty of resources, but something's going on in your head and you feel overwhelmed by it. As a consequence, dealing with overwhelm is not about good time management, because what's going on in your head is blocking you from using good time management, and it's blocking you from feeling confident that good time management will allow you to cope. So what you need to deal with overwhelm is an overwhelm routine. In this video, I'm going to share with you my 7-step overwhelm routine, which I will guarantee you will help you cope with feelings of overwhelm on your projects. Step 1 is to know your enemy. Sit down and make a now list, a list of everything that is on your plate now that is contributing to your sense of overwhelm. You might not feel that you have to do it now, but if it's buzzing around in your head, then it's getting in the way of you focusing and getting stuff done. So get it down, put it all on a list. Now, the simple fact is that some people in some circumstances will find that once they've got their list of everything in front of them on a piece of paper, just having that gives them enough sense of control that they no longer feel overwhelmed. And if that's enough for you, then you'll be able to stop here. But if you've tried that and it's not enough, then carry on to step 2. Step 2 is to kill off the weaklings, and by this, I mean delete anything from that list that is not important enough. Now, for the overwhelm routine to work, I recommend you get yourself 4 coloured pens. So take the first one, the red pen, and cross off everything that is just not important enough to worry about. And by not important enough, what I mean is that if you don't do it, nothing that bad will happen. There are no serious consequences to not doing it. It's just something that in your head is a should. Something you should do, but it's not a must. So cross off all of the weaklings. For step 3, you'll need another pen. Step 3 is to send the stragglers to the back. So what we're going to do now is go down your list and look for everything that can wait. Look for items on your list that can wait for 24 hours or more before anything bad goes wrong, before there are any serious consequences. For each of these, cross them off with your green pen and write them onto a new list that you'll call your tomorrow list. That way you can put your tomorrow list in a drawer and forget about it. They're off your main list. Step 4 is to tackle the tiddlers. The tiddlers are the little things, the small tasks, the many, many little things you need to get done. And often these have a disproportionate impact on your sense of overwhelm because there are a load of them. So get your blue pen and go down your list and put a star by every item which you probably can do in 5 minutes or less. Step 5 is a frenzied attack on those tiddlers. Give yourself around 20 minutes. Set a little alarm. because 20 minutes is the ideal amount of time to concentrate hard on something. And in those 20 minutes, work through as many of those tiddlers as you can. Do each of them as fast as you possibly can, and only to the minimum standard required, no more. Go from one to another, get them done with a kind of sense of madness that drives you to do as much as you can in that short 20-minute time box. Step 6 is to regroup. Get yourself a glass of water, relax, and go back to your list with your black pen and cross off all of those tiddlers that you've tackled successfully. You should now be finding you're making some really good progress, but there's one other thing to do while you're regrouping, which is to look down the list for things that are meaty, substantial things that you do need to get done and you do need to get done today. Now, in normal good time management practice, you would, of course, pick the one that is most important or the one that is most urgent. But remember, we're not talking about time management here. We're talking about dealing with the stress of overwhelm. So what you're looking for is the big, meaty, substantial task for which you feel the least friction. The one that you actually want to get started on. Identify that task and give yourself around 40 minutes to make some substantial progress on that task. Work hard on the task. Do as much as you can. Aim either to complete the task or to complete a clear number of stages or steps within that task. At the end of that 40 minutes, take a proper break. You've been at this for an hour or maybe a little more. Have a wander around. Stretch your muscles. If you can, go outside, get some fresh air and some daylight. Have a drink of water, but also have a drink of something you enjoy like coffee or tea, and maybe a snack if you feel the need for it. Take about 10 minutes to have a proper break and then cycle back. If there are any tiddlers left on your list, another frenzied attack, a period of regrouping, and then another 40 minutes work on another or the same substantial item. You can go around this cycle 3 or maybe even 4 times in half a day. And during that time, what you will have achieved is you will have got rid of all of your small tasks. You will have deferred tasks that can wait. You will have crossed off any task that doesn't matter, and you will have made substantial progress on 1, 2, maybe even 3 significant tasks. Chances are all you'll have left on your list are the big important tasks. You may not be able to achieve those tasks in the rest of the day. That's fine, because the purpose of the Overwhelm routine is to restore your sense of balance and control. Now, you should have enough perspective to take a look at your task list and decide how you're going to tackle it. Are you genuinely overloaded and need more resources or more time? Or can you schedule the things that you have to do into your time and get back to the things that you've deferred? The Overwhelm routine is a brilliant process for getting back in control when you feel overwhelmed by having too much to do. Whether you genuinely have too much to do or whether actually you don't, it doesn't matter. Use the Overwhelm routine to regain that sense of control. As a project manager, it will happen to you from time to time. The Overwhelm routine gives you a prescriptive solution to regain control. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of our videos. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next one.